Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Life Sports Camp Orientation. My name is Jerry Davis, and I am one of the people who helps lead this program at The Ohio State University. I have been leading this program since the summer of 2007 when it was called the National Youth Sport Program, better known as NYSP. I am hoping and guessing there are a few parents and guardians out there who are campers of the old program. In 2008, the federal funding dried up, and Department of Athletics partnered with the College of Social Work to create what is now known as the Life Sports Program. This summer, we will be welcoming our 10,000th camper to the program, which is super exciting for us. It has been a great 14 years, and we're excited to have our first normal camp on campus since 2019. During this camp orientation, we'll tell you what we're trying to accomplish, all the nuts and bolts of the program to make it as enjoyable summer for you and your kiddos as possible. To get us started, let's talk about what is life sports. Our goal is to prepare youth for life and leadership through sport. So what we always like to say is we're not here to create the next LeBron James or Steph Curry. We're here to introduce them to sports, teach them the skills for sports, and teach them some life skills along the way. Hopefully throughout this 4 weeks, they'll find some sports that they've never played or participated in and enjoy them and want to participate in them for life moving forward. We also hope that through this, they learn some tips on healthy eating and nutrition, and that they have a lifelong love for physical fitness. How do we do this? Our 3 pillars in life sports are outreach, teaching and learning, and research. The outreach is the programming, just like this, that we're doing on campus for 4 weeks. We also do other programming throughout the community. We have a program out in Springfield, Ohio, and we also offer a youth leadership academy for our high school kids that starts in September and occurs during the academic year. And those participants end up becoming our junior counselors in the summer. Teaching and learning. So all the people who work life sports are either current college students or college graduates, and we prepare them for positive youth development in their lives. And we also do research. Research is a vital piece of our program. In the paperwork, hopefully you agree to be willing to do the research for us or have your kiddo do the research. We use this information to make our program better. We also share the results with our funders to show that what we are doing is accomplishing the goals we hope to achieve. So thank you for that. Let's talk about camp. What is it? So what we teach, so every day your kiddo is going to participate in 3 sports. They're going to do those 3 sports for 1 week. And then after 1 week, they're going to do 3 new sports. After that week, they're going to do 3 new sports. And then the 4th week, we do what we call LiFEsports Games. We'll get in more detail about that in a minute. During the first 3 weeks, first 15 days of camp, everyone will do chalk talk every day. These are our classroom-based activities where we teach life skills. We also do, as you'll see in the bottom left corner of the slide, is sport clinics throughout the academic year. We attempt to do these once a month, give or take. We do these September through mid-April. We do them on campus. We do them in the community. Our goal is, and our hope is to bring in the varsity athletic teams from Ohio State, such as soccer and gymnastics and volleyball and so on and so forth. We also bring in experts from the community sometimes, but it's our chance to hang out with your kiddos, see how they're doing, and reinforce the skills that we teach them during the 4 weeks at camp. So what you might say is, well, what skills are we going to teach them? So our goal, and the 4 things we primarily always stress and teach, and hopefully you'll understand and the kiddos understand, is self-control, effort, teamwork, and social responsibility. We allude to these as SETs. Once again, self-control, effort, teamwork, and social responsibility. We talk about this every day. We reinforce it every day. And when they leave camp this summer, they remember it. During clinics, we reinforce it. And hopefully when those kiddos become successful adults and they were part of this program, we can say, hey, what did you learn from life sports? And they're gonna be like self-control, effort, teamwork, and social responsibility. And then you'll see our secondary outcomes. Not only do we want them to have social competence, the athletic competence, also we try to get them prepared for college. We do that more in a youth leadership academy. We give them the skills, the tools, and all the assistance we can to get them there. We also partner with some trade organizations in the community. As we found out that most of the labor force in those trade skills is about to retire. And so there are a lot of great jobs out there and apprenticeships out there to get them to these jobs. And they are very high paying jobs in the community. So Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So camp schedule, as I mentioned, every day, 3 sports, chalk talk, each period 60 minutes. Every kiddo, when they get to campus, will get a breakfast. It's a loose term. It's actually more of a snack. It's a breakfast bar and a juice. So if you have big eaters like my son, they'll definitely want to give them some food in the morning. Lunch is a hot meal served in Ohio Stadium. It's a great meal. The kiddos usually enjoy it. It's very similar to school lunches, chicken tenders and some fruit, or chicken sandwich and some fruit and veggies, hamburgers, and so on and so forth. We will post that menu when we get a little closer to camp. Our camp runs from June 13th through July 8th. There is no camp on June 20th. That is the state and university recognized holiday of Juneteenth, and there is no camp on July 4th. July 6th, 7th, and 8th is the LiFEsports Games I alluded to. This is when we get the competition juices flowing, and this is where the groups compete against other groups of a similar age. They get points for everything that they win, and we give out medals to our champions at the end. So how does this all work? So we send buses from campus. We meet every morning. I will meet with our staff every morning at about 7:15. 2 workers get on every bus. Those buses go out into the community and pick up the kiddos. The kiddos, the first day or two, you should be there by 7:30, 7:35. We check all the kids, we get them on the bus. They get to campus. When they get to campus, we give them the breakfast we talked about. At the end of the day, we get on the exact same buses. We take your kiddo to the location that you chose as a drop-off. Just remember, when your kiddo gets off the bus, you are responsible for them. So please make sure you have a plan on where they need to go or who needs to meet them. Please note, and so I don't forget, if you sign up for Marion Franklin, it is the recreation center, not the high school. Every year, there's a few people that get confused. It is the recreation center where we do pick up and drop off, not the high school. So if you're doing drop off and pick up, you actually drop them off at our OSU ice rink. It is right next to St. John Arena, if you happen to know where that is. It is north of the football stadium, if that helps. So you drop them off in the morning, they go into the ice rink. You want to make sure they're in the ice rink by 8:15 so we can get them checked in. By 8:30, we should, if all goes well, be out the door, and we do not return to the ice rink the rest of the day. So if you're arriving after 8:30, please make sure your kiddo, someone is in there to check them in, because there's no one that's part of this program in the ice rink after that point. If you're picking them up, you pick them up in the same location. It's easiest for pickup to do it on the south side of the ice rink. So if you use that address, it'll get you to that south side of the ice rink. Our sports take place in Coffee Road Park. In the RPAC, Coffee Road Park is the outdoor facility. It is freshly remodeled with brand new grass and a whole new building with modern and bathrooms, clean bathrooms, nice bathrooms, and more porta johns. It's very exciting. The indoor activities take place in that building you see on the screen. That is called the RPAC. It is now 17 years old, which is really hard to believe, but it is a beautiful building. It is home to numerous basketball courts and swimming pool and workout spaces, all shapes and sizes. It is a beautiful building, and we're blessed that the Department of Recreational Sports and Student Life allows us to use that building rent-free every summer. As I mentioned earlier, the lunch will take place in Ohio State Huntington Club, and the chalk talk takes place in our academic classrooms on campus. Camp staff. So as we approach camp in the summer, no later than Monday, June 6th, we will send out information that what camp group assignments are. So our youngest age is 9 years old. They make up groups 1 through 2, 3, 4, and then so on and so forth. And our 14-year-olds are in groups 22, 23, and 24. It all depends on the enrollment of each age group and how it gets broken out. They will be assigned a group counselor. They will be with that same group counselor all day, every day while they are at camp. We will hopefully have pictures posted of what the counselor looks like. So you should be able to have a conversation after day 1 of, hey, Counselor Ramsey, how's Coach Ramsey? What's Coach Ramsey like? You should hopefully be able to see a picture of them online, and they should be able to talk about this counselor as if they know them. So how it works from there is when they're with a counselor, that's the person who helps them move from point A to B, B to C, C to D throughout the day. When they get to an activity, there are additional staff there. So when they get to basketball, There are people who specialize in basketball that will teach the skills of basketball. When they get soccer, there are soccer players there who will teach them the skills of soccer. So that's what that looks like. And the education people are normally made up of college students who are looking to go into the field of social work and or education. So that's what the camp staff looks like. Hopefully you get to know them. So what activities are we doing this summer? We're doing basketball. We do hip hop, dance, and football. Health and fitness, which is led by our College of Nursing. Lacrosse, soccer, volleyball, swimming, with the exception of the oldest 6 groups. With luck, we will be able to get the oldest 6 groups the last few days of camp. The reason the oldest 6 groups don't swim is we only have the pool until 12:15 every day. So that's just kind of the process. When you have swimming, so we don't forget, it is important that you do need to send a swimsuit and towel with your camper. We provide all other the equipment for the whole summer except for the swimsuit and towel. So please make sure you send that. It is expected that everyone swims. Swimming is an amazing life skill. It is one of the largest causes of death in the community because when people get into the water, they panic and then they drown. We are lucky in the RPAC that it's a state-of-the-art pool that can adjust height level. So for the little kiddos, it's shallower. As the kiddos get older, we can make it deeper. We will get them in a safe environment. We have plenty of lifeguards on staff. We have plenty of swim instructors on staff. If they are deathly afraid of the swimming pool, we work their way in. First, we get their toe wet, then we to their knee, and then to their waist. And hopefully by the end of the week they have swimming, they love the pool, and they at least feel comfortable if they get in the pool of how to swim and get out of the pool. Once again, it is expected everyone swims. So this is important if you're getting your hair done to plan around it. Maybe wait till the end of the week of swimming. The youngest 8 groups swim the first week. Groups 9 through 6, no, let me take that back. Groups 1 through 6 swim the first week, 7 through 12 second week, 13 through 17 the third week. And then as I mentioned, the older kids, hopefully we will get to swim the last week of camp. But swimming is important. Plan around it. We don't take any excuses. If they forget their swimsuit one day, we have a few backups. They trade a shoe for the swimsuit. The reason for that is they're not going to leave without their shoes. That way we can get the swimsuit back. We'll get it washed and we can use it the next day. And we also do a morph of baseball, softball. We introduce them to the basic skills of the sport. And hopefully we will find a few people that love the sport and want to keep playing it. As we talk about Chalk Talk, it is play-based. Part of it is in this classroom. It's scheduled for the classroom. Sometimes we do outside activities. But once again, we're teaching self-control, effort, teamwork, and social responsibility. Everything we do, we try to reinforce this. You'll see those buttons on your right. We hand out, those are Buckeye leaves. Since we are tied into the Department of Athletics, we are blessed to be able to use the Buckeye leaf logo. In our sports teams, for a football example, if you score a touchdown, you get a Buckeye leaf. If you recover a fumble, you get a Buckeye leaf. In lacrosse, you score a goal, you get a Buckeye leaf. So we're lucky to use this. So what happens is self-control. We try to give these out every hour during camp and whenever necessary. So we have a kiddo who gets bumped. They get bumped in line, they get bumped on the playing field, and we see it. And instead of getting mad or arguing or yelling or pushing or shoving, we see them take a deep breath. We see them say, oh, it's okay. We see them make the right decision. We reward them with a Buckeye leaf that says self-control. There are pins that we can put on bags or clothing. Same thing with effort, same thing with teamwork. Social responsibility is when they make the right choice. Sometimes this is them picking up garbage when they're not asked to. This is them asking someone on the street if they need assistance. It's really the social responsibility at easiest form is just being a good person, and we like to reward that. We've been doing this for a really long time now, and we have campers that return year after year, and we make them a little different every year. Some years black, some years white, some years gray. But the reason we do that is you can see the lineage of all the buttons they win. There's a lot of camp credibility to this. When they see one person win them, they want to win them. If you see them come home, please be excited. Ask them why they got the self-control button. Hopefully they're excited to tell you the story. Breakfast and lunch, as we mentioned, they will get breakfast when they walk in the door. Lunch we will serve. Please make sure you listed the food allergies on the registration form. Excuse me. But please make sure you list those on the form. If you think you might have forgot, please let us know. We are willing to work around all food allergies. We don't serve nuts of any kind. We don't serve pork anymore. So we're pretty open-minded. We know if we have vegetarians, there's a vegetarian option every day. But meals are provided through USDA Summer Food Service Program. So we get reimbursed by the federal government through the state of Ohio Department of Education. So let us know. We're happy to help them with all their food preferences. Bathroom breaks, we try to do these in between activities. Most of the problems in camp happen in the bathroom. It's no different than a school building. One person goes to the bathroom a second during an activity, then a second, then a third, then a fourth, and then there's a party in the bathroom, which we don't need. Things happen in a bathroom that are inappropriate. Things are said in the bathroom that are inappropriate. So we try to limit to the best of our ability, unless it's an emergency, to only allow bathroom breaks in between activities. Also know that the RPAC is open to all students on campus while we're using it, and faculty and staff. So we are sharing the space, we are sharing the bathrooms. So this is the reason. If you have any bathroom restrictions or concerns that we need to be aware of, please notify us. We are happy to assist. Youth behavior. So golden rule, self-control, effort, teamwork, social responsibility. When 2007, when I took over the program, we used to kick out kids all the time. Anything bad happened, kids got to go. We remove them from the camp. And what we quickly realized is the people we were removing from camp were the kiddos who needed it the most. So over time, by creating the Buckeye Leaf positive reinforcement and hiring the right people to give them additional support, we were able to keep most of the kids in camp. So that's what our goal is. And even in my early years, we kicked the kid out of camp for good reason. They came back and were camper of the year the following year, which was one of the great stories we have. So we're going to give the kiddos as much leeway as we can to keep them in camp. But if, there's obviously some no-goes. Drug and alcohol use is obviously a no-no. Quick dismissal from camp. Destruction of property is a quick removal from camp. This happens in the bathrooms. Every once in a while, we have a kid make a poor decision in our RPAC and one of our other facilities. To ensure our relationships, that just has to be done to remove from camp. And stealing a possession of a weapon is also another one. OSU, the police department, is a great partner of ours in all ways, shapes, and forms of this program. So we will lean onto them for assistance as needed during camp. Also, please remind your kiddo not to push the blue buttons on the emergency towers. You see them throughout our community. They're also on our campus. When you push that button, it's like calling 911. So if you push that button and run, you basically prank 911. That is a state and federal offense. Nothing good comes out of that. So please make sure your kiddos know not to touch those buttons. That's been an issue over the years, of which we hope to avoid moving forward. So we talked about the buttons. We talked about the leaves. There's a version from about 10 years ago, that red button. But once again, we want to promote them doing good things. We want to reinforce positive behavior. At the end of the camp, we give out a camper of the year for each group. If they are selected for the camper of the year of each group, they are then eligible to become camper of the year for the whole camp. So it's a super cool thing. So the camper of the year for each group gets a prize bag with some equipment in it. The camper of the year for the camp gets a prize bag with even more sports equipment in it. They get a certificate. They also get early enrollment to next year's camp. So somewhere in mid-April of 2023, we'd email you and say, hey, is Tyler coming back? And yes, then Tyler is enrolled. It makes it super easy. But we want our campers to succeed. There's a lot of great stories now that since we started, changed the name to LiFEsports, of our kiddos doing amazing things in this world. One of our campers was just elected as student body president at Ohio State. Some of our campers are graduated college, now full-time jobs. So we want to reward positive behavior. It's something we really stress in camp. So hopefully you will be excited for your kiddos throughout the summer when they are rewarded for positive behavior. As I said, we give the kids all the chances in the world. Coach Levitt is our head of behavior for camp. Something happens, we'll talk to them verbally. If it happens again, we will send a letter home to parent and guardian to make sure they're aware of what's going on. The next time is a conference. What this means is you won't be able to put your kiddo on the bus. You'll have to bring them to campus, and we will talk with you to make sure we're on the same page with what's going on and how to improve behavior. If there is an incident on camp involving multiple campers, we use this as an opportunity to bring the parents and guardians in and the camper, because basically a kiddo is telling everybody at home their story, another kiddo is telling their story at home. And when we bring everyone together, we actually get the truth and the whole story. That usually resolves a lot of our issues. If we got to get to the point where we remove them from camp, we will let you know. You will get that call from Coach Levette or Coach Becky or myself. And then obviously, usually when we get to that point, it's justified and needed. But hopefully we don't get there this summer. All right, camp policy. So camp is only 18 days on campus due to the 2 holidays. It is expected your kids come every day of camp. Obviously, there are good reasons to miss camp. Please let us know. After 3 absences, and we have no documented reason, and we don't understand why you're not here, you will no longer be allowed to participate in camp. The reason for this policy is it takes a lot of financial investment from all our partners on campus and time and effort to make this camp happen, and especially to offer it for free. And so if you don't want to be in camp, you're taking the space of somebody else. So please make sure you're committed to sending your child to camp this summer. If you ever need to miss a day at camp, you can obviously use our email account, which will pop up on the screen here in a second, or you can call this number, which we'll share with you many a times throughout the summer. This is our camp hotline. This is where we share information, and you can share information with us. We talked about bus policy. Remember, we will have staff on the bus to meet you, check you in, and make sure that process goes smoothly. We use Ohio State buses. So the reason that is important is you'll notice the bus when it pulls in. It'll have Ohio State logo down the sides, down the front, in every way, shape, and form. You cannot miss it when it pulls in to your bus stop. Remember, you're in charge of your kiddo until they get on the bus, and once they get after, as mentioned before, we will only allow the get the kiddo to get on the bus at the end of the day that you sign them up for, unless we have written documentation. Logistically, it makes it much easier for us to do it, and we also don't want to lose kiddos. This is just a safeguard for everyone involved. So make sure you pick the right bus stop. If you change the bus stop or need to before camp starts in June, please email us and let us know, and we will make that change behind the scenes. So once again, the bus stop, the first day or two, get them there early, and by day 3, you have a pretty good idea of what time that bus is going to arrive in the morning for pickup. And by day 2 or 3, you will also know what time that bus is going to come at the end of each day. Remember to be patient the first day or 2. We have new staff that go through training, but it's new to them. We have bus drivers that are campus university employees. This bus route they will test the week before, but it is also new to them. It takes a minute for us to check the kiddos in the first couple of days because we don't know them. So we're usually a little behind schedule the first day or 2. But once again, day 3 or day 4, you'll start to get an idea of this bus is going to come at 7:45 every day. So that makes it easier on everyone involved. Talked about drop off and pick up at the beginning, but make sure you're there in a reasonable amount of time, and make sure you're there to pick up your kiddo between 2:15 and 2:30 every single day. Camp attire, gym shorts, t-shirts, athletic socks. Prepare them to play, prepare them to get outside, prepare them to get dirty, prepare them to get wet. If it's a drizzly day, we will stay outside. Our indoor options with such a large camp are pretty limited on campus. So if it's drizzling, we will stay outside. If there is severe weather, we will obviously, safety is a top priority for us. We'll move everyone indoors. The Department of Athletics invests in a very high-end weather system. We can get a pretty good idea of lightning and weather patterns. And we work with the camp's office and the Department of Athletics to ensure safety of everyone and get them indoors when needed, as needed. So the weather piece, but if it's just rainy and there's no lightning or thunder coming, there's a good chance we'll stay outside. Kiddos must wear tennis shoes, no open toe shoes, no Crocs. If they fail to do this, they will sit on a church pew, become part of the cleanup committee in the morning at the ice rink, and we will call you or whomever to bring them tennis shoes. It's for safety purposes, so please make sure they have tennis shoes when they walk out the door. Every once in a while we get asked, can you wear jeans? Certainly you can wear jeans. Just remember, we're outside. It could be 95 degrees and they're running around. It also restricts movement a little bit. So we get it if there's a personal reason or a family reason that you want to wear jeans, but if you can avoid it, it's much easier if you do not. Also in camp attire, we don't want a lot of attire that reveals a lot. Please make sure it's appropriate attire that's not low cut or low hanging in any way, shape, or form. We want to make sure everything is done appropriately at camp on campus. So electronics at camp, there is no reason that you should send your kiddo with electronics at camp. So our policy, there are no electronics at camp. If you choose to send your electronics to camp with your kiddo, that is your prerogative. But we are not responsible for it in any way, shape, or form. There is no reason for it. If there is an emergency where we need to call you, we will call you. If you need to get a hold of your camper, you call that hotline number, and we will make sure to share the information to your camper and assist them in any way, shape, or form. The reason for this policy is before we created it, sometimes phones disappear and or lost, and we were spending most of the day chasing phones all over campus trying to find them, and we did not have the time or resources to help. So what happens a lot is we hand out bags at camp. There's 450 bags that are 100% identical. Sometimes kiddos pick up their own bag. Sometimes a kiddo will ask another kiddo to borrow a phone, and then that person lets them borrow the phone, and that phone just disappears off planet Earth pretty quickly. And we don't have the time or resources and energy to go look for it. So there is no reason for it. If you send it with them, that is your prerogative. And if something happens to the phone, you're more than welcome to call the Ohio State Police Department and file a missing item, and hopefully they are able to locate it for you. Medical support, we will have athletic trainers, Ohio State athletic trainers as our medical support, and on occasion, Ohio State nursing students and staff to assist with medical support. They primarily hang out at the Coffee Road Park facilities because while indoors, there are trained and certified first aid CPR providers as staff in the recreational sports department. If it's an emergency, we will obviously call 911 and they'll call you. If it's a minor injury, we will call you to make you aware of what happened on campus. We only provide basic first aid and ice for injuries. If your child needs an EpiPen, please send it with them. While it seems easy that our trainers should be able to get access to an EpiPen and the nurses should be able to get an EpiPen, there are certifications and processes and procedures that we try to get EpiPens, and it's an uphill battle for us. So please have an EpiPen and send one with the kiddo in case of emergency. We have the people on site to administer it if needed. So if you have any questions or special medical needs, please let us know at the email below, and let us know sooner than later. We know some kiddos sometimes have to take medicine midday, and we need to know what that medicine is and how it needs to be administered to make sure we can get the people in place to administer the medicine as needed. So the more information you share, the better. A little thing here is if your kiddos wear glasses or need eyewear, we partner with the Ohio Ophthalmological Society to get you free rec specs, sports performance goggles. Sports spec is another name for them. So if you have any interest in a free pair of sports specs, we can send you more information. We will send you more information, and you can reach out to us if you are interested. LiFEsports Games, as I mentioned, the last 3 days of camp. There will be competition in nearly every sport that we provide other than baseball most years. If you have a chance to come out the 6th, 7th, or 8th, or at least the last day or two to support your kiddos is awesome. You get to walk around campus, see what a day in camp is like, join them for lunch. We will provide you lunch if you come. It's just a lot of fun, and we know the kids enjoy it. And it's great for us to meet and interact with parents and guardians in the community. A new feature this year is we will send you an email at some point. You can go ahead and download this, but we will at some point send you an information so you can log on to our app and have access to it. Please, 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 please do it. And if you need additional members of your family or support, whoever helps you with the kiddos, we can include them and send them a password to also get access to the app. The reason we did this is to provide as much information as we can as needed. We can let you know that swimming for your camper starts on Monday, or that the bus has left campus late in the morning, or that there's traffic on the interstate and your bus is going to be late in picking up the kids, or that your traffic is heavy and we're going to be late dropping off kids, or something happened on campus that we're waiting for the buses to leave and running behind. We can do a whole bunch of different things. So please make sure when we send this link that you accept it. And it's a great way for us to share information with you about the camp and what's going on and taking place. So questions, if you have any questions, please email the LiFEsports email account. You can call the phone number. Email is the best. There are probably 7 to 10 staff members that monitor the email account, and we can get you an answer pretty quickly. But you can also feel free to call, and we will call those back as soon as possible to answer all your questions. But we are here to help and support you and make life as easy as possible for you this summer and the campers this summer. And we hope that we have a great summer, and we plan to have a great summer of interacting with your kiddos. And we're here for you. So my name is Jerry Davis once again. If you ever need anything, please reach out, and go Bucks.